Hello, and welcome to All I Do Is Fail. I am your host, Tom Elwes. I'm joined today, just as ever, by my host, Mr. Ali Woods.
Just as ever. You sounded tired. Tired saying that. You thought we're almost in 2022, we're getting there.
Yeah.
And you thought, when we started this in 2017, you were like, this chump, he ain't going to last.
Surely it won't be saying this by then.
This will be the bad pancake that you
Yeah.
throw out.
Yeah.
But here I still am, as ever. And also, here you are, listener. Thank you so much for listening. And you can get an extra episode every week at patreon.com/AIDIFpod. Big up our Patreon supporters. Hope you're having a good week. Tom, how's your week going so far?
My week is going pretty good. Pretty good. Done some gigs.
We had another lovely gig on Tuesday night. Thanks everyone who came down to Vauxhall Comedy Club for AIDIF Tuesdays.
Yes, that was nice. Please keep coming down and showing your support. We are around at the end of the show, so please come and talk to us. If you are listeners...
Don't talk to me.
Okay, well, don't talk to him. But if you're a listener, please come up to us and speak to me and say, hey, I'm a listener.
Ali's really funny, you know. That's what you need to... Do you know Ali? I know you do the podcast together, but like, are you mates?
Yeah. You put a word and like get him to sign something.
Do people don't do autographs, I bet, anymore?
No, there will still be autograph hunters. That's a real profession still.
But you probably watched a documentary on it.
Yeah, of course I have.
What
do you mean?
Yeah.
Several.
There's a great documentary on it. It's not allowed on YouTube, the documentary, anymore, because it's too explicit. Well, autograph hunters, it gets dark. It gets really dark.
Yeah. So there are certain people in, I think it's really big in the States, more so than the UK, who just follow celebs around and just try and get them to sign stuff so they can flog it.
Well, if you want to get that elusive Tom Elwes signature, there's only one way to do it down in Vauxhall. It's elusive because it changes every time.
Yeah.
It's dyslexic. So who knows?
You know, it says TL,
L Tom Wes.
Yeah.
is the latest
Sort of
one.
sign it off with a Zorro symbol.
Yeah.
But you please come down and have a word with us as well and tell us that
have a word and really sort us out of anything. Yeah.
Give us some advice on the podcast and what you'd like to hear more of. But yeah, please do say if you are a listener, because we appreciate you guys more than just average schmoes who
schmucks. Speaking of which, we have another in the studio. Producer Lucas is in the house.
What's up, everyone? How's it going?
Yeah, how's your week going?
It's good. I'm finally off my crutches. I'm manned up.
Yeah,
and I'm walking.
Yeah.
So
toxic masculinity you're the youth of today, Lucas. You should be.
I am.
You should be the most in touch with your emotions. By crutches, he means the crack cocaine he was taking just to sit through this podcast.
I have
his life crutch.
It's his life crutch. But it's a pleasure. Lucas, you may know as previously as intern boy, but now intern man.
Name. Yeah.
Now intern man Lucas.
That's the kind of hazing we like to do here at All I Do Is
It's crazy. It's absolutely bloody mental.
One time a guest got me a drink, like we were having G&Ts, like it was I can't remember his name, but it's the guy who books the gigs at Backyard. They were doing a podcast and they were all drinking.
Oh yeah.
And they got me G&Ts.
That's you're only 14, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, don't tell me which time.
Yeah.
Like,
that's good. Well, he's showing up. Look, he's trying to make us jealous.
Yeah.
You know, once
the guy who books the gigs about. Oh right. Well, he doesn't even speak to me. So.
Yeah. He bought you a drink. Doesn't book us.
Yeah. I see. Okay.
Oh well, that's good. Well, we don't have drinks apart from that. What the hell was that?
Fruity Bubbles.
Fruity Bubbles.
Yeah.
That was a stage name of mine for a while. Down in Soho.
That's what you were doing your late night Edinburgh show.
Different life.
Ali Woods and Fruity Bubbles.
Yeah. I came out on stage and my dad was in the audience and we both looked at each other like neither of us should be here. But this is... It was good times. So it's and thanks for asking. My week's going okay. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
I'm about to go to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
The
Edinburgh Film Fringe. It is happening, ladies and gentlemen.
Apparently,
even though the big names aren't there, there's no mid-afternoon madness with the old Elwes and Woods combo. But there are people there, and I'm going up for a few days with my mate. I've got no spots booked. I'm not doing it for the stand-up. I'm doing it for the sesh.
You know what? It'd actually be really nice to go up as a punter. I'd really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And like just see shit. And
what I'm going to do is I'm going to go support my friends in comedy by sitting in the front row cross-armed, not laughing.
Just silently judging, being like, okay, yeah, I see.
Getting out, leaving it after 25 minutes. and really noisy, like just sort of like and then walking.
I'm sorry, it's just a bit hot in here. I'm off.
Yeah, but there are a couple of people I know up there, so I may be frequenting your shows in between.
I'll be reviewing it in my head.
I'll be reviewing it. I'll get out a notepad.
Yeah.
And review it, and then I'll start my own. It'll be like Ali's list or something.
Yeah.
No one's getting more than 2 stars.
Good.
No one's getting less than 2 stars actually, because that's what they say about Edinburgh. Is
Yeah.
that the worst review you can get is 2 stars. Do you know this?
Yes, I've heard this.
Because 1 star, people will think it's so bad they want to come and watch how bad it is. 2 stars, just a general bad, not great show.
Yeah.
But 1 star is like, I want to see the levels. That happened to me once. I didn't get the 1 star review, but me and a few friends. I don't get reviewed. They only come. They only come for actual shows, not breakdowns. But I went to see this show, and it was a musical about obesity.
Oh, good.
It was so good. There was a song,
and it was 1 star. This is 1.
It was a 1-star show. This is while I was at uni, and we were all comedy snobs.
Ironically, were all the people in the musical not overweight?
They were not overweight. No,
good.
there was like
so good.
I'm pretty
Amazing.
sure there was a dude who had the sort of fat suit style, not proper fat suit, but like had just put bubble wrap down this big shirt. And I remember there was a song called...
That is cultural appropriation if I ever saw it.
But really, you wouldn't get away with that.
No.
It was like, there were a lot of jokes about like, aren't fat people funny? But then it was also, I think it was supposed to be also about body positivity as well.
Right.
So I definitely remember there was a song called We Are the La-Di-Da-Das.
Oh my God.
And then there was also a point where you were never really sure who was the antagonist or who was you weren't really sure what the plot was.
Yeah.
There was a point where someone who for the show you're pretty sure is like, oh, I think he's maybe the main character. And then at one point towards the end, he just gets out a bomb. And then it's like, oh, it turns out he's the bad guy, apparently. And it's like proper comic style Acme black bomb with and you're not really sure why he's trying to blow up people. But that was very good.
The worst show I ever saw, still always just sits in my mind, was this bloke who remade films on stage. So he did about 6 films in 40 minutes. Solo, all solo.
6 films. Yeah. Instead of doing one well, he was like, I'll just smash 6 in there.
Now it was me, my family, and a lot of elderly people. No, I say a lot. About 7 elderly people took up the front row. They're all friends.
Your fans are in?
Yeah, exactly. I'm talking 70, like proper old, maybe even their 80s, right? He did the popular film Basic Instinct, right? And he recreated that by himself. And there's a scene in that film where a woman uncrosses her legs. Now
shows her genitalia.
Yeah.
Her vagine.
So he's doing it, and he starts doing the scene, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Because he's wearing a dress, and I'm like, "Oh,
he's going to kill people.
This is going to happen.
These old people
this is going to happen."
There's an old man who's going to die.
Yeah. Now, I mean, when he opened his legs, 0 underwear. I mean, just full bollocks.
Wait, what?
Yeah, out. Whole shebang out, right? His big, hairy Scottish bollocks.
Three people died at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival today watching a Scottish man Basic Instinct with his nutsack.
Yeah. Those 7 people, completely silent the whole show. As soon as he uncrossed his leg, the audible gasp that came out.
Amazing. Oh my God.
And only at the Edinburgh Fringe.
Do you remember any other films he was doing? Did he fit
I think he did like Top Gun, which is a lot of him going around the stage like pew, 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 pew. For the listeners, I'm doing this with plain arms. Yeah.
Just pretending to be the pilot, fighting himself in the air.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like the Matrix.
Yeah. And that was Kevin Bridges. That's where
in his prime.
Yeah, in his prime. And you just can't get away with that anymore. Apparently PC gone mad. But yeah, I'll go up. I'll report back on next week's episode and let you know how it is and how busy it is and whether you have to wear masks. I'm still not really sure about any of that sort of stuff. Yeah. Also, as well, what's a funny thing is that the free venues are ticketed. So I think you can reserve to get in, sort of like how Just the Tonic used to do it.
Okay.
But it's like I clicked on a couple of them and it was like pay what you can, and it was a £5 ticket, £7 ticket, £10 ticket, so you could pay more and I immediately closed. I was on paying fucking thing. That was a dear friend of mine, by the way, as well. I'm not going to pay for a 2-star show, which I'm going to give it 2 stars.
Is there a 20p sort of
yeah option? How about a wink and a smile? Yeah, I mean, keep up the comedy. That's what I'm paying. So, but yeah, that's what I think I've noticed already. But otherwise, we'll see. And also, there's just so fewer shows. There's far fewer shows than normal. I mean,
which is like, to be honest, people were saying that normal Edinburgh Fringe should have this number of shows.
Yeah.
Which is there's about 600 shows.
Well, apparently they're all selling well.
Yeah.
These shows, the people we know up there.
Edinburgh should just limit the amount of shows to 600, and then everyone would have a good time on a normal year, as opposed to next year where there's normally like 2,000 shows.
No, more than that, it's like 10,000 shows.
10,000.
Yeah.
Well, that means next year when it all comes back, there'll be possibly 20,000 shows.
And everyone thinks it's their year because I actually took another year out.
Yeah,
so I've worked on this show for 2 years. So, yeah, you and everyone else, buddy.
Yeah.
You and everyone else, mate.
We've got 20,000 people coming, so it's going to be pretty
And when Edinburgh's
wild.
trying to make up, because a lot of the paid venues aren't doing shows, or they're just doing the odd show, and they're not doing full runs. So when they all try to make their money back by charging everyone 25 grand, charging some guy who's been doing comedy for 4 years 25 grand to go do a 40-seater that no one's going to come to.
And his tickets cost like £32
32 quid, and he'll be getting 14 pounds of that himself.
Oh my God. Can't wait. Can't wait.
So yeah, I'll let you know how that goes. But otherwise, Tom, let's crack on with the news.
We'll crack on with some news. Should we start with comedy news, or should we start with less comedy news?
Well, if you're talking about the Taliban on the
comedy it is.
Comedy it is. But I tell you what, we will get onto that briefly, but let's have a proper talk about Sean Locke.
Yeah, fantastic comedian. Someone we both grew up watching like week in, week out on telly, and just unbelievably sad. And I was.
What is it? So Sean Locke, if you don't know, and we may have listeners from abroad here, in British comedy, he's one of the greats, a modern great. He's died at 58 years old as of this week. He had cancer. As far as I know, didn't tell anyone. It was all private and no one knew. I mean, he was on telly before COVID.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would have been like a year and a half ago. So I assume this battle might have been quite short.
I think with the comedians, it's quite interesting. I was talking to other comics about this, that like, unless we're sharing it on stage, or I guess now through social media, but comics are less inclined to do that. Like, people don't really know what's going on, especially with those sort of like comics. Like, unless we're talking about our lives on stage, other than that, pretty private in general. Like, I couldn't tell you much about most comics personally.
Because you never asked me, but it's fine.
Yeah, because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
but even like big celebrity ones, I couldn't really tell you that much about Russell Howard's life. I don't know anything.
He never responds to our calls. Do you know what's going on the podcast, mate? It must be busy, I guess.
But you know what I mean.
Like, well, but I think that is. Comedians are supposed to be just this blank canvas and all this mirror, like reflecting society, and they're supposed to go on as a sort of every person just being there, and then they tell you about their life, what they want to tell you about for the benefit of their show. I think if you have comedians like celebrities with like baby announcements and endorsement deals there and stuff like you just like them less and you want to laugh with them less. So I think it's harder to do that. And as you say, like also because life is material. So if you're announcing everything and all the time, then you can't be on stage and reveal something. And I mean, people get cancer and they do shows about it. At
the Edinburgh Fringe. Normally.
Yeah, and then the review goes bit passé, to be honest. The cancer year was 2011.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, exactly.
Done.
It's been done. We're more on sort of child trauma now.
Yeah, we've moved on.
Yeah, but yeah. So I assume it's private. The way you want to do it, or the way I would do it, mate, if I could, David Bowie style. Drop an album, die. Turns out you got cancer.
Yeah.
Drop a good album, one more, and then be like, right, I'm done.
Yeah.
No, don't.
Was Black Star posthumous?
I don't know if it was posthumous. It was very close. It was like he recorded it while he recorded it when he knew he had cancer.
Right.
When he recorded it.
Right.
So,
Fair.
So
yeah, one out once if you knew it was terminal and you had the strength and the ability. Yeah, like to record a little special about it. And then drop it on the day.
Yeah.
And that'd be mad.
On the day, and then it's third to Kevin Hart's and Jack Whitehall's shows from 2014.
Yeah. Oh, I'm really sorry. Yeah. Jack Whitehall just released his special on the same day. That's so gutting.
Alvin and the Chipmunks prequel is actually comedy number 1 at the moment.
Oh.
But Sean Locke is one of those rare examples. And a lot of people are saying this in their obituaries where the people, the average Joe blogs on the street would like them. The black cab drivers would say he was hilarious. The comedy snobs, pretentious wankers, would say he was hilarious as well. He just was able to be in the center of that Venn diagram of doing stuff which was really relatable, based in the mundane stuff, observations, but quite surreal. And there's lots of clips going around about him. Now I've seen the one with the tiger who came for a pint is going around. The one about winning Rectum of the Year. Which is
good.
His reaction to the primary school kids' nativity play in Big Fat Quiz of the Year. I mean, you can look all these up. The carrot in a box. On
him also saying the when you die, where do you want your ashes spread?
It
was like Piers Morgan's eyes. And Piers Morgan retweeted it, which is great.
There you go. And I briefly met him. Have you met him?
I never met him.
I never gigged with him. I very briefly met him. I was doing a gig in Hammersmith called Instant Laughs.
Yeah.
And I'll shout out this gig because I was barred from there for apparently slagging off on this podcast, which I didn't even know. I didn't even know I did that. But it doesn't exist anymore. I mean, yet we're still here.
We outlived it. We outlived the nights we slag off, basically.
It is a tough night. It was not.
It was brutal.
It was brutal. There's not much.
I'll be honest, it was a shit night.
It was, yeah.
You met him there? He came.
That gig in Hammersmith that pub is near where Bill Bailey lives. It's literally on the same road.
Yeah.
They used to be a double act. They used to do sketch shows. They just went to Edinburgh, did a sketch show, famously performed their sketch show to one person.
Great.
So they were just having a pint, and I went down, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, Bill Bailey and Sean Lott were literally sitting in the pub, like pub garden, just having. And I went up to them. I was like, God, I've got to say something. And I was just like, hey guys, don't know if you're into comedy at all, but there's a comedy show happening upstairs. If you want to come up, it's free entry. Yeah.
You have to pay what you want on the way out, though.
Yeah. And Sean Lott he was just like, all right, yeah. Like, you know, he does like crossed arms, like, he's there, all right, yeah. And then Bill Bailey went, oh, okay. And they're obviously sort of playing along a bit. And I went, obviously, guys, you're welcome, of course, but just want to say thank you so much. Like, you're both inspiration for me doing comedy. And that's the only time, so I didn't really exchange any words at all. But
what did they tell you to do? Piss off, man.
And they were like, can you fuck off?
Yeah.
Can you fuck the fuck off?
I'm trying to have a fight, yeah.
They were like, don't you, as some open mic shitty, you're doing Instant Laughs. That's famously a shit.
Yeah. I've even heard of it. Dog shit. The owners.
We're barred from there.
Yeah.
We can't come in because we know it. Shit. No, they just said.
We actually drink here because we know no one would expect to see us here because everyone knows Instant Laughs and that we're
come
barred.
Here for comedy. You wouldn't come in for comedy, so they know we wouldn't. Bill Bailey, Sean Lott didn't say anything. Bill Bailey was like, all right, yeah, cheers, thanks for that. And then, but Sean Lott was just sort of like smiling and like nodding and going. But so I didn't chat to him, but I was glad to finally met him, and it's really a shame I didn't get to ever gig with him. But as you say, when I was growing up, when we were growing up in that era of the noughties panel shows and stuff, 8 out of 10 cats, man, I was just looking forward to every time he opened his mouth. I was like, it's just
gonna be good.
It's gonna be so funny. He was the only one on that panel show, and a lot of panel shows, but who, when he said something, and me and my dad both agreed on this, it didn't feel like he was saying some pre-prepared written stuff.
Yeah.
It was like he was just waking up and just making some comment on something which was hilarious. You'd have Jason Manford, and look, Jason Manford's very funny, and he was good on the show. But he'd be going, yeah, the thing I think about this is, and blah blah blah, and then Sean Lott would just go, nah, not for me, and just go into some other weird direction. But yeah, absolutely brilliant comedian, and it's wonderful to see all the tributes going towards him. And yeah, like I got to say, I was quite sad when I heard this news. I was quite upset because we're getting to that age. I mean, you know, I'm 22, you're 51, but we get into this age now where people we knew growing up,
people you like
stars, growing up, they're gonna start going, unfortunately. But 58 ain't that old. And famously, do you know he had cancer before?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I remember him talking about him, and it's Jonathan Ross show, but he actually had cancer. He got skin cancer because he used to be a scaffolder, and he wouldn't wear any sun cream. He'd just be tops off, just doing building work. And he said he puts it down to being a hoe bag, basically. He said he's being promiscuous because he was getting with some girl, and then she felt feeling his back, and she was like, "What's this? Like it's like a mole in the back."
Yeah,
It was like, "I don't fucking know, some whatever. It's just a mole." And then she was like, "No, this is like you should get this checked out."
And it was
it was skin cancer. And they were able to just cut it off before it became
spread.
Yeah, properly life threatening. But he was like, he would have not done anything. Yeah, so it's another reason to get yourself checked out if you
think you might have cancer.
You know,
to always get it checked.
I found a lump on my third testicle the other day. No, I didn't get anything.
Should check your balls though, like, for all the male listeners.
Check your balls, ladies.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I don't.
Whatever, mate.
Or what do you identify as?
Whatever
you will. You know, check.
Yeah.
Worth checking.
Check. But yeah, I mean, you must have similarly growing up, Sean Locke just being.
Check my balls.
Sean Locke, check your balls as well, yeah.
No, yeah, of course, just loved him. And just really, really sad. And just didn't expect it at all. And just constantly, you know, I loved all his stuff, watched all his stuff, watched his stand-up, I don't know, it just feels like a sort of staple of British comedy and TV for anyone who grew up in the 2000s. So yeah, genuinely gutted. We remembered very fondly, I think, and just all the tributes and stuff just showed how massively respected by the wider community he is.
Yeah, respected, and also there's a lot of people coming out saying how lovely a guy he was, which is great because you don't always get that. Yeah, people go, can't believe this guy's died, then some poor woman will tweet. When I was a runner at the BBC, he tried to fill me up.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, like, but yes, it seems like he's a lovely guy, genuine bloke, and big up to Sean Locke. Big reason I'm doing comedy today, so thank you very much.
For sure.
Now on to a lighter note. We all love the bumper cars.
Yeah. Love them. Can't get enough.
Fairground rides for all.
Yeah. Fairground rides, gyms, you name it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you hopefully would have seen, because you are news-reading citizens of the world, that unfortunately the Taliban have now taken over... Just fully taking it all over. It's so. Are they
taking it all of Afghanistan or Kabul?
No, they're like. I mean, Kabul was like the last stronghold,
right,
so it's like basically they have Afghanistan.
Taliback, they are back in business. It's I mean, but then they said trust us. So who's not?
Well, so I've been reading in and around the subject matter and listening to a few podcasts and stuff on it, and there's quite a few different.
You're prepping yourself to take them on.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna parachute in.
Can't wait.
Sort of Jack Reacher style.
Yeah.
Tom Elwes taking over the new Tom Clancy.
Yeah. Sometimes I just think maybe just like blokes, just there's probably are some British blokes who will go out there and fight.
Yeah, but I'll take them on. They come to I'll glass them.
Yeah, they get a text being like, "I'm pregnant." They're like, "Oh, I've got to go.
I've got to go. Afghanistan."
Sorry, love.
It's stressful.
Yeah, yeah. I've weighed up my options, and Afghanistan's better. So I'll see you later. It's.
So what's happening? So you've listened to the podcast,
and there's within the Taliban there are a lot of different factions of it. Some who are like the really extreme end, and some who actually want to be recognised by the wider international communities, and be showing up at summits and stuff.
With their AK-47s.
Well, just have one Taliban leader guy showing up at the summits and go legit. So it will be very interesting.
Mainstream. Yeah, Taliban are going mainstream.
Just sat next to Boris Johnson. Just what?
It was. I mean, obviously we always have a light-hearted look at the news. It is obviously very distressing news, especially when you see some of the clips coming out and the people clinging onto planes and all that sort of stuff. I did honestly think this is such upsetting news until I thought there's nothing funny in this until I did see those chaps with their guns on the bumper cars.
Yeah.
Like they're having a great time. I was like, what's going on here?
It's just so bizarre. And that's what like so modern media, weird. Those images are things that you would never have seen before. But like now using modern media. Yeah.
It's dystopian.
Just having to go on the bumper cars in the gym and using all the equipment wrong as well.
Yeah, they never used it before in their lives. But that's when you realise, it's sort of sad, I guess, that they're not like big, scary, their version of the SAS or whatever, like drilled. They're just a bunch of guys in their 20s who've able to get firearms and are just bowling into places and taking them over because they got guns.
The issue is that a lot of the time they just walked, because what happened is that the Afghan army just completely, they didn't even, in some places they put up some fight, but the majority of the Afghan army just let it happen. Right. And then when you realise like all this video footage and all these ex-soldiers and stuff have come out and spoken about, because, for the last 10 years, they've been training the Afghan army and preparing for this, right? That's what allegedly they've been doing.
Allegedly.
But you just see how disorganized these guys are in the Afghan army. A lot real bad drug problems as well, like
Really?
a lot of hashish being smoked by the Afghan army, like a massive amount. And like, a lot of the people
Save the hashish supplies, man. That's what that's what they were.
You can honestly, and there's like American trainers and stuff just being like constantly having a go at them, and just they're so disorganized. And a lot of the people who have joined up to the Afghan army were because they were sort of disgraced from their villages and stuff, and they were sort of thrown out, so the only option was to join the army, kind of thing. Which doesn't mean that you can't be trained into a good, efficient soldier and you know, turn your life around. But it just didn't really feel like that's what was happening. It's sort of like, I mean, there would have been Afghan soldiers who took it very seriously, but I don't know, a lot of it just seemed very disorganized.
Yeah, well, clearly, if they can do this quickly as well.
Well, it's like a week, and that you've taken over your entire country.
Yeah,
just walked. But that was it. There was no resistance. They just walked. There was no fighting back in a lot of places.
We could take over Britain. You ever think that maybe we could do?
Put a flag up.
Put a flag up, AIDIF flag, a logo we don't even really like. Just we'll have it as a national flag. We'll be competing with the AIDIF logo at the Olympics and still going, should we change the name? Should we change the logo? But also I just see a picture of someone checking out the Kabul Snapchat.
Oh, really?
And there was a dude who just posted a picture of a couple of Corona beers and was like, gonna sink these then take on the Taliban. From location Kabul. What the fuck? So good.
People are just, you know, they will, you know, obviously, it's good and bad. I mean, the human rights crisis that it's going to produce is just going to be so horrific. And in particular for women, that's the thing. But, on the lighthearted note, it is just, I mean, you can't help but laugh at some of the stuff.
Some of the stuff social media, like the stuff people come out with is great. I mean, this is a distressing situation, and we'll see how it unfolds, and hopefully it maybe is not going to be as severe or extreme as people think. But I remember when it was looking like Iran and America might go to war or something like that, and the memes around World War III were excellent.
Oh,
it's like me and the boys bowling in the tank, and it's just like at the back of an Uber, just dancing with music on and stuff. And there was like that footage of some missile being thrown and a guy kicking it back. Yeah, and it's like Ruben Neves hitting a clean one back. When the missile comes from Iran, so good. But
when you see some of the footage of the soldiers and stuff like the Taliban that being trained, the army, there's just so much, like they are of course just still teenage boys, a lot of them, and like they're like, you know, just asking to like getting their mates to like take a photo. It's like, can you get me with the 2 guns?
Yeah, take a photo with bigger the clip, bigger the guns.
Yeah, and like just kicking down the door like 3 times to get a good clip for social media. Like it's just sort of bizarre.
Oh man, it's crazy. And if you want a good satire on sort of extremism and why people go into it, then 4 Lions, great film.
Great, banging film.
Enough.
Yeah. And our last news story is of travel. And this is really personal to me because me and my girlfriend are trying to book a holiday away, right? And like obviously a lot of you will already know this and already been through this process, but the cost of the fucking tests is bullshit. Absolute dog shit. It will cost you more to do the test than to go on holiday.
Is this test to become pilot? Is this what you're trying to
do? Exactly. They keep failing me and I'm like, look, I've got this, lads. Come on.
Mate, I've played COD and been in the chopper. I'll be fine.
Exactly.
So how much are we talking? This for PC artists?
Easy. If you want, it depends how far in advance you book, I think. But if you, places are honestly saying one test, 149 quid if you want it done, like.
Bargain.
Like,
but why can't you?
And you need to get 4.
You need to get 4.
You need 4 tests.
Why do you need these tests?
Because you can't have to prove
you're double
them.
vaccinated.
No, you're double vaccinated. You still have to prove the different tests. You need to do one 2 days before flying, and like 1 when you fly, and then 1
comprehension verbal.
Yeah, exactly. I failed the lot.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then one on your way back. You need 1 2 days before you fly, and then an antigen test when you like a day after landing or something. And it's like,
and you got to think, is Lanzarote worth it? Like, you know, and the answer is yes. But
yeah. Especially with the lads, but it's unbelievable.
Where are you trying to go to?
I was trying to go to Italy. We're looking to go to Italy.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Not even anywhere fancy, mate. Not, you know, I'm not going to like Barbados.
I'm going to Timbuktu, mate. Yeah. I'm all going to South America.
I'm just going to Italy or Spain. You know, Spain's not even bloody, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Well, so what are you going to do? You going to do them?
Well, I don't know. We're sort of debating it now because it's just so expensive, like stupid money just to go.
How long will this be enforced for? Do you know?
As long as the government want it to be enforced. But my worry is that the longer we leave this and the more we go into winter, the more likely, things are to get screwed up again.
Lockdown Part 4, the last in the trilogy.
Yeah. Fucking no one wants 4. We don't need to get into Fast and Furious territory. Like that'll be.
We've got characters returning when Matt Hancock comes back for Lockdown 5. Exactly.
Yeah.
I thought this was over.
People you thought were dead. Not really.
Exactly,
Not really.
Yeah, people.
A different virus kicks in. It's COVID's brother. It's oh my god.
Yeah. I thought we'd had the last of Delta.
Yeah.
It's like
Family.
I lost so much family. And then it's like, you're about to lose another. And then he solves COVID by driving into the moon or something.
Yeah. No, honestly, those Fast and Furious memes are absolutely gold. With the guy, where he's just like, he's like, I'm going into space. They're like, you're not wearing any spacesuit. Like, it doesn't matter. I don't need a spacesuit. I've got family.
Family. Yeah, who needs oxygen when you got family? And then that song comes in.
It's a long way to see you again. But yeah, I don't know how.
What are you gonna do?
Don't go away. I don't think we are. I don't think we're gonna get to go away. I think we're going to Scotland.
Come to Edinburgh with me.
Edinburgh. I might be going to Scotland, but in September, because that's when I was planning on going.
Tomorrow, mate. Come leaving tomorrow. Yeah. Get on the train with the boys.
Yeah, sleep on the floor.
The other alley.
Yeah,
no, you're not sleeping with us, no. You have to find someone else.
Sleep in a youth hostel with a
hotel. Back yourself.
Yeah. Some kind of floor. First year going up. Shared a floor space. Me, couple of autistic magicians.
Yeah, a dance troupe. The twist is they do the opposite moves because it's suddenly a point about racism or something.
Not a lot of sleep went on in that room, I'll tell you that.
It's the gang. Yeah. You've got a double act where only one of them speaks English.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
good.
But they sell surprisingly well. They are killing it. Yeah.
Sold out the show every day. You're like, how? You can't even. It's sort of, it's interesting with the travel thing. And I'm worried because I feel like the closer it gets to winter, the more likely things are to heat up again. And then that's it. The cycle repeats itself. And then you might get a couple of weeks. And is this just life now? Is this how we go on?
Yeah, you can't go abroad ever again.
We're just going to live on this island? No, can't do it. Need to leave. Mate, I can't live on this island forever.
This is not a Disney Channel.
It's not good
film.
It's not good island. Like, it's not,
What do you mean get off the island?
Yeah.
There's nothing out there. People who go there don't come back. I want to see. That's what it's like.
I think people will start to go a bit crazy. You know what? That's what I was thinking. Like, people will start with this. The population has become too big for this island now. Okay, it's too dense. We're one of the most densely populated islands in the world, and that is what people start going a bit crazy.
Okay, would you say then if you had a cull of like 60% of people that you don't like?
We need to cut out about 30%. I would say
30%.
Yeah. I don't know what towns, but we'll figure it out.
Have you seen that Bill Burr bit on? Well, he's got a few bits on overpopulation, but he's like, politicians are just afraid to say it. You just got 85% of you've got to go.
Yeah,
that's how the worth is going to be like.
I'm with him.
He comes out being like, "Let me finish."
Yeah,
85%. This will not be rudimentary. There is a test under your seats. If you didn't bring a pen, you're already out.
I think because people are going to start. For the last how long? Cheap air travel that the majority, like a massive percentage of this, I would say over 50% have been going on holiday abroad. I would say it's since probably the late 80s. Okay, so I've had like let's say at least 30 years of it. It's ingrained in people now, the ability to just go abroad, go on holiday for a week.
If you can't go beef with the boys, what's the point of it all? You got a question? What's the point of the summer bods, Instagram? My life.
Mate, just go back to just being real British and pasty and just accept it.
Sitting in there, planning a trip to Newquay.
Yeah.
Pretending that's going to be fun.
Yeah. It's fucking, it's so awful.
Seeing your cousins in Lincolnshire.
Yeah. That's been my summer holiday. I went to Scunthorpe. That has been my summer right now.
You come Santorini with me last year, mate. It was sick.
I went on holiday last year. It was all right. I need to leave. We all need to leave. It will make us better.
I've been saying this for years on this podcast, Tom, but you never leave. You don't leave.
Edinburgh can't be my summer holiday.
It's mine.
I know.
I'm bringing the sun.
But you love that. That's okay for you. I can't do it. I'm just not built for this. I need you to bloody ginger. This is good for you.
Hey,
This is the best summer you've ever had.
Hey, that's right.
To be fair, I have been to Edinburgh on holiday before, and it was all right.
Yeah.
There you go.
You
What's wrong
fucking
with
cave
that?
dwellers love it. Okay, that's just different for us.
There's
okay,
no
I need a
nasty
bit. Of,
sun.
yeah, no nasty sun.
And when the sun comes out, it's like a dim energy-saving
Yeah.
bulb. It's not. It's not like the mean one that you get
Yeah.
in Jamaica.
No. It's a low.
Well, if you don't like it, fuck off.
Yes, yeah. That's what. Honestly, that is what it will come to. British people, they'll start getting nasty with each other. People will be like, well, if you don't fucking fancy it, you fuck off, mate. Don't come back then.
What can you get in Spain and Italy, France,
Yeah, yeah,
that you can't get in somewhere like Bournemouth?
yeah. Food, just as good. Just as good. You know, just as good.
Well, good luck to you, Tom. I was going to be like Goodwill Hunting. I hope I come to the studio.
You was not there one
You're
day.
not here. And then I check your Instagram story and you've smuggled your way into St. Lucia or something like that.
And I've got a seashell necklace. How, Mooch, producer Mooch, he's been in Greece for about a month now.
He's been in Greece for the busiest. He's never been busier here.
Yeah.
He's Mooch is in Greece.
Yeah.
And then still, the only thing he's got time to do, Mooch, is still send horrendous videos
Yeah.
while he's been on holiday. Still send videos that make you want to tear your eyes
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
So thank you, Mooch. But I mean, he might be back next week. We'll see. But
We'll see.
I think
He's
this
back
is good.
today. He got back today.
I'm going to ask him about his tests and how many he had to do. Right, guys, let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to move on to, I do Life Mares.
Yeah, Agony Uncle, but not in a weird way, guys. Thank you so much for sending in your troubles, and we will seek to give you some advice on how you might go about making your life a little less dramatic. So I've got two here for you, Tom.
Cool.
Get through two. Been offered a new job. It's much less money, but way better than my current. Should I take it? What do you
Wow.
think on that one?
Much less money.
It's the words are much less money as well. So
Well, it's just so vague. You got to, look, realistically, you're going to work until your 70s, so probably do a career that you like as opposed to go chasing the money, because in the long run, you don't want to look back and be like, well, I got paid a bit more, but I fucking hated every minute of it. So never chase the money. It's not worth it.
yeah. Well, it depends what you're in for as well. Some people do banking and shit for 20 years and they hate their lives, but they get a gazillion pounds at the end of it. But then you won't get to enjoy your life till you're 55. So yeah, that's one thing. But yeah, I would always say it's better to be at the bottom of a ladder you'd want to climb
Yeah.
than to get loads of money for doing something that
You fucking hate.
you hate.
You don't want to be at the top of a ship.
I'm intrigued to see, maybe if you're listening to this, messages in, what are the jobs? Because I'm intrigued to see what this job you hate is and how you've been offered something that you really like.
It's going to be like,
What?
don't know.
What is it
It's
going
going to end up being like a really weird job, isn't it? So dead body disposal. I get to.
I clean vats.
Yeah.
That's just no more description than that.
Yeah.
I'm moving from a job in recruitment.
Yeah.
And
I was working in recruitment as drug dealing, actually.
Yeah, and now I'm doing wet work.
Yeah.
That's what I'll call it.
Prostitution for me, myself.
Well, that would be way better paid, I imagine. And then the second one here. So this one may need a bit unpicking. I'll read it verbatim.
Okay.
But I think we might have to actually work out where the details lie here. Does a cheating spouse deserve a second if they have kids? So I think second chance.
Yep.
But then also if they have kids, I'm not quite sure.
I think if they
If they have kids together.
I would say together.
So I think I agree with you. So for the benefit of the listener, I think this question is, and thank you for messaging in, does a cheating spouse deserve a second chance if we have kids together? Now, Tom.
Difficult.
We smashed the first one.
Yeah.
Take the other job. Enjoy your life.
Go for it.
What about
Unless
this
it's a
one?
criminal job. But I think, it's difficult. That's really difficult because it's like talking family units. Well, it depends.
Family
forever.
You've gotta
It's been a
see how fast they can
long
drive.
way.
How fast they drive is very relatable to how good they are at looking after their family. So
Yeah.
see how
Yeah. If they can drift, then you're
if they
in.
can drift. Do a drag race.
Yeah.
And not the RuPaul kind, if that's something.
I'm just so baffled at how they went from stealing DVD players in Los Angeles to being the head of the FBI or whatever. It makes the linear path of that.
But they do go into space in this one. Do you know that?
Do they
They
actually?
legit drive. They drive into space.
I
I
didn't-
haven't watched it, but I've listened to a couple
That's
reviews
the
on it, and that's
stupid
legit.
as shit.
Oh, you
ever.
need to check it out.
Space.
They drive into space with a car, with a rocket, with a rocket
like
attached to it.
rocket car.
Yeah,
Of course. Simple.
I don't know why they do that, but anyway, we'll have to watch it.
Makes sense.
Maybe we'll do a live Fast and Furious 9 watch
Viewing,
along.
yeah.
So anyway, away from that family and to this family.
Yeah, look, it's how bad was the cheating? How long did it go on for? Was it just like a one night thing and he was drunk and
Yeah.
he didn't know the person? Has it been an affair that's been going on for ages? Do you think he'll do it again? Has he ever done it before? Weigh up all those options, and
These are all questions
you know,
that Tom's ex-girlfriends have weighed up with him.
yeah.
No, they haven't.
Yeah, just how much, and then you know the kids are a factor, but you know that is a factor, but also it's going to really come down to you and him and how much you trust him. And if you do trust him to never do it again, okay, well maybe then stay with him. But if you think there's a chance that he would, then get rid.
Yeah. Have you ever been cheated on, Tom?
Yes, when I was 17.
And
Heartbreak.
did you take them back? Was there?
Oh, yeah, I did actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the reason for that?
I don't know. She didn't. It wasn't that bad. She just got off.
Oh, got off with someone. Okay, yeah. I mean, maybe, but that's, as you say, the scale.
Yeah, there's a scale as well.
Because we live in London and everyone's fucking going on about polygamy and
yeah,
polyamory.
poly.
It's lame to be in love with one person.
Loser. Would you ever be in a poly? Would you
know
ever be in a
what?
3?
I was asked this by
You and a
myself.
couple of
I was asked. I went on a date with one lady
yeah,
ever. The first time, first date,
yeah.
and it was going well. We're chatting, getting along, and she said, "Would you be interested in a polyamorous relationship? Because I think that's what I want."
Yeah.
And then I reported her to the police.
Yeah. And I deleted her and I posted her photo everywhere and I said, this lady is...
I said, "Whore!"
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
"Harlot!
Yeah.
This lady going around town is
Never.
not respecting in the eyes of the Lord."
Disgusting.
Yeah,
Disgusting.
gross. I said, you know what? Maybe I'll be open to it, but I'd have to have a think, and it was also depend on the person. I think I'd quite
Yeah.
like to go in with
And
one.
you're
person.
expecting like her girlfriend and then you're like, oh, this is Richard.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got any fit friends?
Yeah.
Loads. Keith,
Yeah,
Dan,
yeah.
Phil.
This is Richard.
Yeah. They're quite big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's you know, I want you for the sort of maybe sort of intellectual chat,
Yeah.
but he's going to be doing most of the physical.
Most of the shagging.
Yeah. You're not really there for that.
Yeah,
You're
I
allowed
like
to watch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But not all the time, and please be quiet when you do.
Get in the cupboard.
Yeah.
When you say about watching, a mate of mine actually was on this app, Field. Now, Field is getting more popular nowadays.
That's the one where you put your sexual preferences out there.
but a couple of years
Weird.
ago, Field apparently was mainly for threesomes, and my mate was on it because his thing was cucking.
Does he want to be cucked or?
No, he's the.
So he would go in and plough people's
Steed.
wives. That is a
You
mad.
lost me. That's a technical term, but he would match up with couples where their thing was, I want you to shag my missus or whatever, and she was like, I want you to do it. And
Like what happened with the message that I received.
like what happened with maybe the
Yeah, I'll talk about this. But like, I received a pretty aggressive message and footage as well of someone messaged me and was like, "Do you want to be a I'm a sub wife. Do you want to get involved in this?" Right? And then the most
you were like, what can I
horrific.
do with a wife on the bench? You know
Yeah,
what
the
I
most
mean?
horrifically graphic video was then sent as well. And I just said no, thank you, is what I said, because I didn't want.
I said I'm sorry, Tom. I won't send it to you again.
Yeah,
but
that was it.
Just get over it.
But like,
That's what people are. Yeah. So
and that's fucked. Don't do that. By the way, don't do that because it's very difficult to explain to people's partners.
Tom's partner has the keys to his Instagram account and did not like that one.
Yeah. Please don't do that.
But yeah, so he would go and have sex with the woman, and then the man would sit in the corner jacking off and watching.
Oh, that's first of all,
That's the
my
life.
my
Which bit? Which bit for you?
definitely the jerking
I'll
off.
let you figure that
In
out.
the corner,
Yeah.
the corner.
First of all, I wouldn't like that because I wouldn't like the pressure. That's what that, you know. I wouldn't want the pressure. You know, that's going to be. I've really got to do a job here. You know, if I see him starting to get a bit like, oh yeah, God.
Yeah, he's on his phone.
Yeah. Starts taking calls. Yeah, carry on. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah. What's that? Yeah, no, I'm not doing anything. Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
Oi, just keep going.
Yeah, wrap it up. When
Yeah.
I've got a Zoom meeting now. I've got to stick my camera on. Is that all right?
Yeah.
You guys comfortable with that?
I don't like. Yeah, the pressure would be difficult for me. I don't know if I could do that.
But I tell you what, if you're listening to this, send us in your thoughts on polyamory because it is an interesting one. We can read them out next week. Send it to the AIDIF account, AIDIFPOD, AIDIF Pod on Instagram or Twitter. Send it to our account. And we can have further discussion on it because I'm thinking, but I don't know whether I'd.
Ali gets into a polyamorous relationship. Could be cool, man. Could be cool.
Do that for the podcast.
That'd be fun.
I'm in a polyamorous relationship. I feel like I'm in a polyamorous relationship with everyone.
Yeah.
I just never get to have sex with them.
But I'm here for the chat.
Here for the chat. So, Tom,
wait. Did she stipulate whether it was another man or another girl thing?
No. I think it wasn't that she wanted. From what she was saying, it wasn't that she wanted to have threesomes all the time and stuff. Yeah. It was more just she wanted an open
relationship.
So we would date, but she would be free to have sex with other people. I think. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
She said this immediately after we had sex for the first time. Could I get some other sort of freelance workers in to maybe complete this project?
This is not
because this is
gonna
not
happen.
Gonna happen. No, we didn't make the beast with two backs, coitus, fornicate, whatever the kids are calling it nowadays. But we just chatted. Anyway, But so your final advice. So there's lots of questions to ask. This cheating person. The severity and all that sort of stuff. And also, I'd say if the kids are involved, think obviously a lot about them. I mean, just because you don't have to be together for him to be in their lives.
No.
If you want him to still be a part of your life, so don't feel like you're doing it just for the kids, because also they probably wouldn't want an unhappy parents either. So, I would say have a think. Cheating can sometimes be a slip up, but if you think this was calculated and he was
going on for months,
do it again.
Then don't do.
And people, you can still be part of the kid's life even if you're not together.
Exactly. All right, now we are going to move on to FailMail, ladies and gentlemen, and we asked you to write in with your stories of your worst ex and why they were your worst ex.
So we'll do as always. Thank you very much for everyone who sent them in. But we'll do as always the first ones from the official AIDIF account. And let me just get those up. So here we are. First one, there's one who sent them in. But me 21, him 38. So quite a big difference. Dumped him to find someone with their life more together. He stalked me for 3 months. Weirdo. Get rid of that. No, sir. So that was that one. But thank you very much for sending into the AIDIF account. Tom, do you have any on yours that you would like to share?
Yeah.
Not many on this one, I will say. So, which is probably a good thing, actually. Then it means people have had quite good relationships.
Okay. Well, if you think... Okay, here we go. Shat on the floor when I caught him cheating and emptied my purse when he left.
Jesus.
You've been caught.
If that's the guy with the kids,
get rid. Yeah.
How did he shit on the floor? It was almost, there's two ways for me that he did this. It was like, he comes in and almost in comical style, he goes, whoop, and then goes, comes out like a missile. Or the other one, which is less fun, which is maybe he just goes, well, if that's it then.
Well,
then
here we go.
Shit. And
you could have treated me like shit, I'll shit on you everything.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. I can imagine it going that way.
Fuck that guy.
Okay, another one. I won't say the person's name, but this is from an actual friend of mine. So, ex, we'll call it his ex, because she broke my fucking heart for Luke from the Kooks. And I remember being at school.
Wow.
We were last year of school, right? And my friend was dating this girl and she broke up with him and started dating that bloke from the Kooks.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's harsh.
That's brutal.
It's cold.
The Kooks. And you are a skinny jean aficionado, but the Kooks skinny jeans game.
They were king.
King skinny jeans.
I had no chance.
But where are they now?
18-year-old me had no chance. Still selling out stadiums in South America, apparently.
Well, good for them.
I guess you could say she moved in her own ways.
Oh,
that's why we've got.
Are you all right to turn that mic off, Lucas? Cheers, mate. That's a very good addition. That we should have thought of ourselves, to be fair.
He was naive.
Lucas
too late.
Lucas is way better.
Totally. Come on, play. Go.
This guy that went to Vietnam for vacation and barely talked to me during his holiday. Then when he returned, he only met up with me to say, let's break up, and then refused to say why.
Probably cheated on her in Vietnam. I
Probably
would have thought.
fucking went on. And the same person said there was also a man who never did any housework. His place was disgusting, which is obviously not what you want.
A guy I'd been dating for a year stole my towels and dumped me. Why the
Stole
towels? Fair play on your towel collection. There must have been something special. That's what you nick.
He couldn't live without them. He was like, "Fuck you and your towels."
Yeah,
I'll take
but
it.
this thread count. Ooh.
What do you think? Maybe he was
What?
shagging the towels.
Well, fapping off into the towels.
That's cheating.
Possibly.
Cheated on them with the towels.
There is an possibility that he was wanking into towels, yes.
My ex, hands down, left me and his 2 kids for a girl who was his friend since uni. Classic. This is this straight guy who kept insisting spit is lube.
Oh, God. Oh.
Like that.
Asked me to disappear for a week as his holiday romance was visiting. Yeah, listen, love. I shagged this bird in Mallorca a few years ago. She's coming. So
You gotta go.
just putting this relationship on pause, and I'll see you in a week.
Okay, my best friend, because he's my best friend. Worst choice ever. Fair enough. And now we got some. This is some funny ones that people sent in. He got so drunk one time he peed on my bedroom floor during the night and blamed it on the dog.
Good.
Conviction of that.
Yeah. Oh, you bad dog. You evil little shit. What's wrong with you?
Took my boyfriend to a mate's party. He sat in the bathroom and watched a film on his own.
So his name is Ali Woods, isn't it? Like,
What a legend!
Well, yeah.
What a legend!
Perfect.
Speaking of film as well, someone said my worst one was the one whose favourite movie was Armageddon.
Such a bad film. Okay, here we go. Chap I dated in lower 6 dumped me on my birthday. Well, he didn't. His mum did.
Oh yeah.
His mum broke
I
up
think
with.
I might have heard this before. Oh
Oh.
yeah, amazing.
That's unbelievable.
I'm calling up. So obviously, you and Robert have had such a lovely time, but he's just so frankly so busy with A-levels.
Can't do it. Can't
do it. My ex messaged me saying, "You, because you are stinky."
Right, classic. Yeah.
We were having
Shout out all the people who did write us or fuck off.
Well, because I stayed with her on the weekend because I was doing a gig in Bristol, which is where she lives, and we're still on good terms. But I was introducing her to the sketch in. I don't know if you watched the sketch show. I think you should leave. But the sketch, which is the focus group sketch, and there's just a great bit in it where the guy goes stinky.
Yeah.
So I was just saying everything was stinky.
It's a great sketch show. You need to watch that.
Fabulous sketch. So is that so? Thank you very much for
sharing all of those. They were lovely. It was interesting to hear about all your exes and why they were all so terrible.
Yeah, and also the lack of messages, I think, for that one suggests. I think it said to me,
there are some good ones out there.
Some good ones out there. You know what I mean? Not ones who shat and piss on the floor.
A lot of shit in piss.
Like animals. There's always every time there's a FailMail, you always start with he shat.
It's unbelievable how many people say about shitting. Like it's weird. In fact, please only shit in toilets. If we can take anything away from this podcast, shit in toilets.
That's our main message. And that's been another episode of All I Do Is Fail. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Watching if you're watching on YouTube, listening if you're listening on podcast. We're both angles.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you. We love you, and please do come up to us if you do listen and just be like, "Oh, listen to AIDIF." Because I will give you.
I want my time back.
Yeah. 3 years, and it didn't get any better. Why don't you just prepare a little bit for your episode?
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little. It's all I ask. So we never know if we had a guest on. If you're not having a guest on, who fucking knows what the template of this podcast is? But we do. We've got a special mechanism in our brains. But yeah, of course, you can see us every Tuesday at Vauxhall Comedy Club, AIDIF Tuesdays. Thank you very much to all those who have been coming down the last few weeks. We had some corkers of shows, so appreciate that. And also, if you want an extra episode every week, you can become a patron for just $5 a month. That is £1 a week. And you get an extra episode every week. And you also support us in our journey. And
you'll notice how we don't have any sponsors or advertising on this podcast. And that is how we are supporting ourselves. So
keep declining.
Apart
from that Smooth My Balls one that keeps
trying to get us to do it. They just look at us and they're like, you guys have got hairy balls.
Yeah, fuck them. Yeah,
please do support the Patreon because it will really help us out. All right. Thank you very much, guys.
Take care. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.